This is a very exciting night. I must admit this afternoon was kind of complex. We're very lucky that a freeholder, who I'll introduce in a few minutes, is here tonight. Steve Tonelli called me at 2 o'clock this afternoon and said that he had a family crisis that wasn't going to allow him. And many of you have been following exactly what's been going on in Trenton, but you can well imagine that it was the case that Loretta was unlikely to leave Trenton until the votes that have apparently just been concluded in Trenton, and where she, unfortunately, she actually has with her the framed commendation from the state legislature. So you're not going to get that more until she gets there until tomorrow morning. But she's working very hard to get here. Senator Byron Baer had a really quite incredible history in this Bergen County. He, as many of you may know, began in film, and as his wife last year told us, up a lucrative filmmaking career, threw himself into the civil rights effort, spent 6 weeks in a Mississippi jail as sort of his first step into public life, then became a member of the Englewood City Council, found it unbelievably, apparently, according to his wife, unbelievably frustrating because he could get no more information as a council person than he'd been able to get as a citizen. And he said, I've got to go join the state legislature, which is what he did. And then he spent 21 years in the lower house and 12 years in the state senate. And many of you know his major achievement, which was to get the Open Public Meetings Act passed in 1975. It's and the Open Public Records Act came a number of years later, and as we know from hearing the stories last year, both the Open Public Meetings Act and the Open Public Records Act are issues in this state in which the state has taken an important leadership because of the role of Byron Baer. And as you probably know, Loretta Weinberg became his successor as senator here in the 37th district. We're very proud to have Byron Baer as the person in whose name and in whose memory we conduct this now our sixth Byron Baer Award meeting. And the people we have chosen are people who we're very proud of, as you can see from the list that appears on the program side of your document. Maura DeNicola has been a participant in an institution that frankly I've come to appreciate in a kind of new way. I told the freeholders at the last meeting that I've been attending legislative entities for 40 years. And I've watched them with some despair in many cases. And certainly in the first period of time when I began to watch the freeholders in this county, I was concerned about it. It felt as if it was a place where public input and the kinds of things for which Byron Baer fought were only recognized when they had to be. And the person we are going to award tonight is a person who has, in my judgment, made a material contribution to what the freeholders in this county have become. A place that has taken pay to play to a degree, not to the satisfaction of each of us in every way. You're going to have a hard time satisfying Bergen Grassroots on those matters. But it's taken a major step beyond what any other county has done. And on issues related to how it is that legislative matters function in this county, there is something that occurs on every Wednesday afternoon, or almost every Wednesday afternoon, where the county freeholders, in their interactions with the county folks who are most interested in particular pieces of legislation or resolutions or contracts, actually have a lively dialogue, in many cases, led by our award winner tonight, Maura DeNicola. And as a result of that, when they get to the consent agenda, everybody actually knows what it is that they are voting on. That is an unusual achievement. It's something I haven't seen in legislative. I remember in my first interactions with the United States Congress being particularly disappointed in what I was watching. Our freeholders have come a very long way in terms of what they've developed in terms of transparency, and I give a lot of the sense of how that occurred to our departing freeholder, Maura DeNicola. She's finishing her second term. As many of you know, she has served as the mayor of Franklin Lakes. Before that, a veteran educator both in this state and also in New York City and Harlem. Her county responsibilities have included chairwoman of the Freeholder Board, vice chair of the Bergen County Board of Social Services, chair of Public Works. That whole list of things that appear in that second paragraph of what you're looking at are all things which I think recognize the diversity of ways in which she has functioned in the county freeholders. But she's also been enormously active in the public life of this county and a whole raft of things that are very important. She for interactions with people with disabilities, with women, and particularly women who've been violence against women has been a major piece of what she's been working on. She's reached out in a variety of ways, and so when she started talking about who it is that she wanted to have as part of the panel tonight, it was a very interesting mix of people, as you can see. She's also been an active leader in the discussion, not yet actually turned into policy, of whether or not the county, in the way in which it goes about choosing its leadership, adequately achieves representation, either in terms of geographic factors or in terms of other aspects of diversity. I suspect we'll hear more about that from her tonight. But there's no question that this woman leaves the Freeholder Board with in my judgment, a reason to believe that she has made a material difference to the quality of public life in this county. And we are very excited to be able to give her an award. But before we start doing that, I'd like to ask Tom Sullivan to come up and make the presentation for the county. Maura, do you want to come up and receive it from Tom?
Well, thank you. First, I want to say I did not even expect to do this tonight. I didn't know Steve was supposed to do this. I came here to honor a friend, a colleague, and one of the hardest working people I know. So that's why I'm here, not to give you these proclamations that you know by heart.
I think I signed.
You signed your own.
She definitely signed one. And just to go back a second, you thought that someone from Bergenville here is former Mayor Gallione from Bergenville.
That's what I was looking for.
So here, he's right there. My former mayor. So, more on behalf of Jim, the county executive, and of course your Freeholder Board. We have proclamations for you, and we give out a lot of these, and sometimes we fly through them, but this is very special. When I became a Freeholder, Maura knew we had a common interest, and that was addiction, and showed me nothing but respect and helped me immensely to now hopefully pick up where she left off. One of the hardest working people I've ever been with. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your professionalism and for your knowledge. So on behalf of the county and the Board of Bergen chosen freeholders, and I'm not going to read them because she doesn't want to hear them, we just want to honor you for receiving such a prestigious award. Byron Baer happened to be my state senator and my assemblyman when I grew up in Bergenfield, and probably one of the most honest and accomplished people I've ever been involved with, who I got to work with when I became a councilman. So you should be very proud to be receiving these awards. I'm proud to give them to you. God bless you, and thank you for everything you do.
As I said earlier, at this point, we had expected to introduce Loretta Weinberg. She was able to reach out to a colleague of hers to stand in for her for the purpose of not giving you the actual commendation that is actually, we know is actually framed in her office this week. But Naomi Kramer, do you want to say a few words for the senator?
I hope she makes it. She might get here late. She called me like 20 minutes ago and said, please just tell Maura that we love her, that of all the Republicans, she's one of the good ones. Quote, quote, quote. And I'll add that she cares about people and votes on issues and not on partisanship. And there's not enough of that today anywhere. So we do appreciate, she does appreciate you. So I just want to make one comment. When I was sending out emails about who to vote for Freeholder, and I told them against my Democratic committee person wishes, I guess, vote for Maura, and I got back an email from somebody who said, I never voted for a Republican in my life. So I said, oh, please make a difference this time. One vote didn't make it, but he did say he voted for you. So you never know how what you say about people will make a difference in how they vote.
But I know a lot of Democrats who know actually what goes on in this county, who made the exception. They voted for Tom, and they voted for either for Jermaine Ortiz or Amoroso. I'm looking for her first name. But they also voted for Maura DeNicola, and because it does matter that questions continue to be raised in the way in which Maura DeNicola knowledgeably does that, and has done so for so long in the constantly improving freeholders. And I'd like to, Maura, if you could come forward. This is our award. Bergen Grassroots 6th Annual Byron M. Baer Memorial Award for Public Service, presented with appreciation to Bergen County Freeholder Maura DeNicola, to honor her many contributions to the transparency and integrity of Bergen County governance, and to the mental and physical well-being of all Bergen County residents, particularly its women, seniors, and residents with disabilities. December 19th, 2016, Bergen Grassroots. Now, you have to earn this in one additional way. Actually, two additional ways. We talked, once we had let her know that we were going to honor her in this, there were two ways, basic ways to do it. One was to tell her story of her life. You heard a little bit of that. Or the other way was to do it was to have her talk about things that are important to her and what remain things that she is concerned. And I know, just knowing who she is, she will be working on, she said, you know, I really would like to talk, and then I'd love to have some people who I've worked with or whose views are important to me comment on what I had to say. So that is, in fact, our program for tonight. And so Maura,
I'm going to address my remarks specifically to the freeholder. On behalf of the family, we congratulate you. Byron had a unique way of raising all of us. He told us there were no D's, there were no R's, there were just people that did the right thing for the right reason. He would be so honored to have you as a recipient of an award in his favor. He prided himself on his legislative prowess and the ideas that he had. And many people assumed he had been an attorney. And as Mr. Powers had said, Byron started in the motion picture industry, and through a set of circumstances decided to walk away from that and pursue what he thought was the right fight, whether it was Englewood desegregation, the migrant farmers. He got his arm broke, he went to Parchment Penitentiary. It was always pursuing the right fight. But again, many people thought he was an attorney. And having had the privilege for the past almost 2 years working with you, when I first started, I just assumed you, like Byron, were an attorney because you gave off that era. There's a lot about you that remind me of him. And I can't think of a more fitting honor for you than to be a recipient of this award. And once again, I'm just very honored to call you a friend.
This is Loretta calling me. Let me see what it is. Hello? Okay. Keep coming, Loretta. That's wonderful to hear, and we're waiting to, and I think everyone here is in anticipation. We have a good crowd, and but I'm supposed to be sort of making the transition to the panel right now. And when you get here, we'll get you right up on the stage. Okay? Great. Thanks.
Well, we're glad you're here. Actually, it turned out that you arrived at the perfect moment because everyone else except for you has talked, and no one has talked the second time. So you're up.
What have you all talked about?
Well,
I'll tell you. We talked about the issues of seniors in our communities, aging in place.
I can talk about that.
Heroin and opiate addiction. The possibility of changing the way freeholders are elected across the county, looking at districts or wards for better representation, and Bergen Regional Medical Center.
We solved all those problems, right?
tell us about the vote.
All right, well, I'll tell you, thank you, Maura. Before I talk about Maura, we won a big battle today. It was concentrated in the assembly because both those bad bills, the governor's book deal and the attack on newspapers, both had to emanate out of the assembly first, and they could not get 41 votes. Part of that is because the grassroots people who chimed in and sent emails and spoke out and shared articles on Facebook, and you can all be very proud of yourselves, unless you didn't do one of those. At which point, it is not dead. The governor, in his inimitable way, already issued a press release that the killing of newspapers is the top of his agenda for the new year.
The governor? Not the president.
That was the governor, yes, Chris Christie. That's his priority for the beginning of January, is to kill legal ads, which in fact.
I just realized I don't think I turned this back on, so you're not here.
That's how much I know. Could all hear me on this?
Yes.
So I already issued my statement to remind him about things like the pension obligation, and you know how the best way you could actually hold down the cost of legal ads is to make sure that New Jersey is no longer #1 in foreclosures, because it's those sheriff sales that are advertised in those legal ads. So if we change things around there, we'd be all right. And if this ever got passed, I'm looking at Dr. Henry Pruitt and Alan Son, two council people present. I would hope that it would be permissive, and I would hope that neither one of you would allow Teaneck to sign up to try to put these on web pages.
Oh, absolutely not.
Good, okay. So, anyway, it's been a long day, but I really felt it important, and I know you talked about all these issues, but they're, not that you're a unique breed, Maura, but there are not a lot of really good progressive Republicans still walking around. And Maura is one of them. If I am a Democrat, and I was happy.
You're kidding.
Yeah. It reminds me of Gordon Johnson once beginning out his speech saying, "I am a black man." I looked at Debbie and said, "Gee, I never knew that." So, that's how I'm a Democrat. But I have such respect for the work you've done, the way you quietly stand up on issues that are right, and I know what that battle is like. And when Chuck told me that they might be honoring you with the Byron Baer Award, I think I said I couldn't think of anybody better to be honored. So, and I know Lara is here, I'm assuming, representing her family. So on behalf of all of us in the legislature, I do have the provision for you. And I'm not going to read it all, but as you know, the resolve clause is the important part. And it says that be it resolved by the Senate General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that this legislature hereby honors Maura DeNicola, pays tribute to her meritorious history of service and commitment to the citizens of Bergen County. And I know, Lara, if Byron were here, he would be smiling and approving of this award. Yes. So congratulations. And anytime you want to become a Democrat, boy, you're welcome. Anybody have a change of party card with them?
We brought some for you guys.
I'm sure most people in your party would not be happy with it.
I'd be surprised.